Sorry about that. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Gonna do some Glass Masquerade. Hey, Joe. Don't know if you saw my message a little higher up. I just finished the damn pumpkin. But I posted a message a little higher up. If you want to join a co-stream, we can just chill doing puzzles. Like we can do that. But no pressure. I realize that I started late and didn't give a defined offer, and I figured that was a possibility. So no pressure, of course, but I'm going to jump into more puzzles. So we just got the achievement indirectly direct the pumpkin puzzle, but also that was my last one for the first arm of the illusion map. So we finished all the puzzles in the map for the first arm of the illusion map. So um, this one. Yeah. So of the next set, I have these three 67, 63, and 59 pieces, and it looks like the next one in just the simple direction is to this one. It's 56 piecer. So we'll start here. See what happens. As always, we're doing puzzles on hard. Always make sure you're doing hard. It takes longer, but at least you won't have to do the puzzles times. It does seem like the main path puzzle a little bit easier pieces. So very hard jigsaws. So this is the second game in the series. The first one is pretty much identical as a game. Big change from 1 to 2 added in completing the puzzles on hard mode. You didn't actually have to play the first game on hard. Yours truly wrote a walkthrough of sorts for the first one. I don't know if it was great or just kind of mediocre. Uh, the number of positive thank yous on it is quite a bit. Um, so, but I did write the walkthrough for the first one, so it is published. I'm taking screenshots of all the puzzles as I finish them here. Maybe that means I'll try to put it all together. When I wrote the first one, I kind of went easy at the end. It's truly. Why not speak clearly? I don't know. I'm sure sometimes I jumble words. I knew you were. I don't know about where Obama's going with. I know sometimes I can mumble. Yeah, that pumpkin puzzle not fun. First part is that I had done some of it yesterday before we started streaming, and for some reason when I loaded it up today, back to nothing. It was a blank slate. Not a fun to have to do again. That's what I was. Stuff that looked. Problem is figuring how big those unique pieces are. So like if we look, use this piece as kind of a pointer. At where like bottom piece like here, this outline here, that's a very unique like outline there, but is looking at it from two halves that the piece goes up. This whole thing here actually encapsulated by a single piece. And what I found in my like a weakness of mine when doing these puzzles, I kind of start looking for big pieces bigger than what I'm actually going to be able to place. So, is the danger. Yeah, I considered starting Kingdom Hearts today, and I considered. See, I said I was considering probably a half dozen games, probably just about right. I thought about doing Kingdom Hearts, Control, Gems, Glass Masquerade. I had thought about starting either Bucket Night or Silas. So, all of those were options. Then I just said screw it. I was like, we'll just keep doing puzzles because puzzles have been fun. after where you're thinking. I grabbed the wrong piece. Ah. Sometimes those edges are just so hard to see where they actually fit. Like the amount of actual space that they show available on the board at times is actually a lot less, or a lot. What you think you see is actually there's more there, and then it's kind of like, oh. So. I mean, hey, it's a slower game. This is not a very quick one. I thought some of it sounded ridiculous when I first loaded up, and they're like, oh, this puzzle should take roughly 20 minutes. And, you know, that first one, you go and you're like, okay, that was 8, 9 minutes. We're okay. And then you get to the other ones. Let's see. Let's look at the times of how bad Jesse's done this game. Okay, so this one. That one took me an hour and 3 minutes. 31 minutes. 26. 20. 35. Let's see. A road. 18. 52 minutes for the pumpkin one. Tunnel Epiphany, I think I did on stream, and that was over an hour. We've had some bad. They were supposed to be 20 minutes, some of these. We're going to go for that bottom right corner. Roughly. That's what I'm going to. There we go. That left edge there. That jagged pattern shouldn't be necessarily. Go. 40 pieces left. We are moving. Boy. Okay, we're not gonna just go with random piece taking. That's always a bad idea. I think it's. Oh, that's more. Oh, that's bad. Actually, yeah, not enough. That's too deep. I can try it, but once again, is that yeah, that's that jagged piece. That's way too sharp. Yeah, I mean the hard part about these puzzles is always the fact that they're more like if it was just a jigsaw puzzle, I think it'd be a little bit easier. But what makes the game hard is the fact that a lot of the pieces are actually more the way they fit together more of a stained glass window. So it's not always going to be recognizing a color pattern so much as it's recognizing a piece pattern and understanding how they fit together. Don't know if that's good or bad, just kind of the way the game. Yeah, and if we get bored, we can easily switch to something else today. Partly like I couldn't think of what to play. I have a wealth of options right now. It's just I don't know what to go off to. It's there. No. That, that's what I was looking for. So, just a note for next week, by the way, for me. I will be streaming next weekend. Um, but I will not be here streaming. Well, I'll be on this channel, but I'm dog sitting next. So, yes, there will be a possibility that Puppy will want us to hang out. See what he does, though. I'm staying over there for the weekend. My brother and sister-in-law are going to a wedding. Yo, Mr. Coolness. Yeah, they're going to a wedding. Really old friend. of theirs. So they're away for the weekend, and the options were that either they bring the dog here or I go and stay there. And I decided I would stay there. That didn't. So yeah, I will be there at least for Saturday. I don't know about Sunday at this point. I think I'm gonna have to talk to them and see what time they think they're getting back on Sunday. Um, if they think they'll get back late, then maybe I will be there. But if they think they're getting back at a better hour, I might out and be home and for stream. But it all depends on what their schedule is. Wedding is wedding's on leap day. So oh, 20 pieces down. 8 of them were gimmies, so we only did really 12 pieces. So yes, we will see if Tempo wants to hang out. Stream. He sometimes likes to hang around. But for fun, I get to try out. I'm gonna get. They said you can sleep in the bed, so I'm gonna sleep in their bed and find out if all the hubbub about the mattress that they have. Apparently, it's the greatest mattress ever. I got one of those purple mattresses. And plus, apparently, Tempo sleeps in that bed. So we'll find out. All these edges are just so smooth. There's not a lot of like unique edges right now. I've looked at this piece so many flipping times. Not the right piece. So, but I would expect at least one or two streams this weekend might have some promotional work. I've got 3 right now on the books. Okay. question is after this one. I'm kind of thinking about what I want to stream after this. Much as I like this game, more than a couple of puzzles a day, it just gets tedious. Yeah, I have that one as well, and I haven't finished it. I can see how that would be as equally as tedious of a game, having started it. Yeah, no, I can agree that probably would get a little excessive. How many do you have left? Oh, nice. I am almost even with games started versus games completed for the month. I think I'm short right now. After yesterday. Dogs are geniuses. I love that. What I've heard from my brother is Tempo's current thing. It, oh, um, my brother's dog current thing is he, yo Tom, he zoomed down the hall, and so my brother's house has like their living room area is carpeted, and then the hallway that leads to, like the bedroom is like a hardwood floor, and you know did a zoomy down the hall and wiped out. And, that happens. Dogs do that. But now he has developed an aversion to the hall. So my brother has put apparently a towel and a yoga mat in the hallway to, for the time being, make sure he go down the hallway. Yeah, so yeah. And the thing is like it was never an issue. Like that was the area to throw the toy. Like, yeah, I'm sitting on the floor in down the hallway. He's gonna all the way down the hall and no problems. And then is it? Are you now? I don't see anything on the stream. Huh. I mean, it's a quiet game. The audio for the game itself is not actually very interesting. Slight piano music. I've got it so down. I don't think like me talking has to carry the stream. No? That. Odd. Interesting. And if you got a link to it, Tom, feel free to post it. I trust. Darn those PC only games. Don't they know that there are plenty of us who play things other than PC? Definitely not. I mean, it's kind of ironic. I can, um, you know, Joe and I get some promotional codes, and I can look at where codes are going, at least some idea of it, and like for the one site I use, you actually see what they have available still based on platform, and the Xbox codes go first. And a lot of those games still have Steam keys. So I don't know what the deal is. So I don't know. Oh no, you're watching more racing today. That tells me there was another crash then. It was a green flag, right? I gotta think. Oh, the race just started. Oh, great. Not a Toyota. Can't believe I missed out on that piece for that long. Oh, Jess. We're 32 minutes in? Yeah, those new arms aren't great. Could be worse. A lot worse. I was almost a little more concerned that they would have gratified him, to be honest. How's your puzzle coming, Joe? if you're still doing a puzzle, I guess. And fall asleep. Lovely. Are they now? Good old spring training. Oh, so the time when none of the regulars are playing. Ugh, man. They're in Florida, so what happens, Albino, is that the yeah, uh Pavetta was talking about his new changeup. Apparently it's a big deal. Maybe it'll make him actually worth something as a pitcher this year. Um I'm sorry. Last year I really hoped for him to be good. I did. And I regretted every second of it. I was so high on him being number 3. What, old bubble butt? And I liked Bastardo, to be honest. He just really wasn't that good. So no. What happens, Albino, is that the teams report middle of February-ish. There is there's teams. So half the league is in Florida and half the league is in Arizona, two areas that don't know what winter is. Oh, they'll be doing spring training for the next month and a half ish. Yeah, grapefruit in Florida, cactus in Arizona. Exactly. Not that our weather's been intolerable this year. Did you? Yeah. For anybody who's curious, usually we see winter in the area, but unfortunately this year has been actually unseasonably for us. Um, we're usually into the teens and 20s most of winter here. And that is Fahrenheit, of course. I know a lot of you are metric, but yeah, it has been unseasonably warm up here. So usually we get at least one or two decent snowstorms that have actual accumulation, and this year we have had none. Yeah, we usually get like a couple of storms. Yeah, we'll get a couple of like foot worth of like a couple of different snowstorms that'll get to a total of accumulation of a couple of feet over. And this year has just been oddly so. You know, I'd post a picture in Discord of snow, but we didn't get any this year. Oh yeah, I mean, last winter was actually pretty decently cold. I'm just saying in general this year, like it's. I thought we got at least a couple because I swear we had a day off where like university closed down. Oh, was it? Was it that out of season? I mean, I remember the day last year when Yumi and Zach were in, and the heat went out in the building. Yeah. Well, they came around and right as we're like, yeah, we're just gonna shut down the power. Yeah, we shut down everything that day. And then they came around and said, hey, you should all go home. We're like, yeah, we're doing that. We're just shutting down the power. And then I want to say not even like 10 minutes later, I think Dr. Mew called us and was like, are you guys leaving? Like, please go home. Yeah, that too. And I think that's what prompted her call that day, if I remember correctly. She saw that and was like, who's in? Go home. The days. I don't know if I'd call that one of those. You know, it wasn't a bad day. It was just, it was cold. Yeah, those days are just bad. That's worse. I don't know if it was the heat that's so much broken. It's just the fact that the basement, and temperature changes and they don't adjust the heating system, and what happens? You get a day where, hey, the heat's full blast and you can't adjust it quickly. Protect the fact that there's a bunch of people downstairs who work. Eh, that hasn't been so bad, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't noticed it. I'm honestly surprised the upstairs doesn't have issues sometimes. Zach and I went up there, and there was just some stuff all over the place. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. As bad as when we first got that room. We first got the upstairs. It was run by, uh, MET, the Met Lab. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember them though. Um, a little bit, yeah, because he's kind of moved his stuff around. He's at like I don't know if he's even really truly affiliated with the department anymore. Um, but at the time, that was the group that got all the highlighting. Like, oh man, we got a presentation to give about how great the department is. Who are we gonna promote? That lab. That was the lab to promote back then. So, then they left. They took over our old space. Uh, that's now the Vandal Lab. So when they moved, that became Vandal, and then we still had the room that used to be theirs. Oh no, I don't have a problem with them. Don't think that I would have a problem with them. I mean, they're a cool group. But the MET group was notoriously messy in that room. It was pretty disgusting, to be honest. So nothing compares like today, but yeah. And it's getting used. That's the good thing. They've got their experiments up there now, and that's good. Sorry. Good news is we're over halfway done this puzzle. And we're only 47 minutes in. Darn. My beautiful face is not covering the timer. We'll switch to something try after this to break up the puzzles. I do really enjoy this. I don't know if it's thrilling. I think it's worked well as like a night thing. Sure, but I do want. Good news is though, those of you not able to always pay attention to Yay, Joe and I both finished off. Verdin is done. Done. Actually, the name. Both highly recommend it. highly recommend not to guide if you decide to play. And having reread stuff, the only problem there is like if I have to get matched up with somebody who's got the game as well, like what am I gonna get out of it? Easy one to cheese, guide. So what kind of advantage am I giving myself? Honestly. I kind of don't want to get matchup where the other person has, you know, a game that they can easily get the achievement in and then kind of keep pace. A little too weak for that one. At least in my opinion. And I will say the one thing that we were kind of, you know, we had joked about a lot of our guessing, but having replayed the beginning of the game, one thing I did notice was when I was reading, I just glanced at the tutorial messages, and actually one of the tutorial messages specifically said, sometimes you will need to guess. So the educated guesses we took were not actually wrong to do. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, something tells me next competitive event, that getting to that point. I hope. Probably. That's pretty much my favorite right now. The events. That's what I was looking for. I saw that and I was like, oh, I know it's got to be somewhere. Find this one also. Either way. So yeah, if that comes up soon. Happy to have some head-to-head. Another opportunity to possibly see the one club down a little bit. Yeah, that's the other question then. What can they change? And what would you change? How would you change it, I guess is the question. Or how would you change things? Because this has been always the hard part. I kind of get it. It bothers me, but like I understand why it's so hard to fine tune. Okay, what would you consider a problem? I guess is my question. Like if you had something that you hate about head to head, what would? I'm sure there are some people who would not disagree there. I know that is one of the things that had come up. I don't want that to be the end result, but I know that's one of those things that like a lot of people kind of like, because of all the complaints, that the easy option, just get rid of the thing. I do not like that option. Has its issues. Yeah. Oh, yep. No, I don't disagree with all those points. I mean, there are definitely problems with how things are handled. I found it be annoying with some of the ways other parts of it were. I can always joke that I never lost my matchup to Joe because technically we didn't get to play a full week. But like that whole thing was a debacle. Yeah, which like that's always been the big problem. How many things have we seen where the problem is just bad on that front? Things not planned for, sadly. I'm back to guessing. And if that's what the change is, like, fine. I'm okay with that as an idea. But I've got to be honest, like, I'm not the ideal competitor for that competition. My backlog makes me easy to place with anybody. Like, that's my mistake. I'm not blaming dev side for that. Like, that's me. That's on me that I don't have high completion percentage, and thus, I kind of screw myself in that regard. But at the same time, I feel like I become an easy place, or do that. That would be good. Like I wish I could be used, like, or see myself get placed with people, just more interesting. Like I feel like I get placed with somebody and then it's not even a fun placement half the time. It's just, well, he's got a bunch of games and the algorithm says that this is the best way to place him. Okay. Like I said, that's on me a lot of the way. I just wish it could be better. Yeah. At least the first few weeks I think are a lot more fun. Thanks for the host. That's where that's the piece that goes there. Yeah, I mean the first few weeks are always the most fun. That contest, anyway. I went pretty far last year, but part of it was I got lucky. Some major luck in there. Um, I quit my last week. I tried to make it, tried to keep it at least a little interesting, but I knew my opponent was a lot better than I was. And unfortunately, once I enter into the like the just for fun side, I kind of lose a lot of motivation. um, so and that round started, round I got eliminated last year. I was still doing like, and I think Joe was out at that point as well, but I don't know. I think I actually like the starting scheme of having everybody get at least weeks. So, but yeah, and I think that's more fun. But so I don't know if you're watching our streams then, but Joe and I always started. We would always start our like a stream right as the list came out for this last one because it was starting on it was starting on a Saturday or Sunday. So like we would start right then as like boom, we're gonna run for yeah, and that was so much fun. Like I thought we had a great time with it. Um and it worked really well. And so sometime after Joe got eliminated because you had to go like you were away for a weekend or two. So it wasn't gonna work. I was still doing that, trying to keep up that rhythm for myself. Yeah, brother's wedding. And the last weekend I was in, I started like doing the normal thing. And the problem was the guy I was up against was um he did the same thing and he was much closer on a lot of the achievements than I was. Because I remember hitting a few and looking, and he was, I hit my first four, and he was already at eight. Hey, Valbo. And then I looked again, and it was like I got up to eight, and he was already at 12. Just like, okay, I can't catch him, and was kind of in a rough boat. So I was just like, well, it's okay. I'll be eliminated. Okay, so that's the next in the main line. Like, it looks like these are main line. The main lines are a little bit easier. And then this is kind of like so like this is probably the wing. Much harder, Valbo. At least I think these are harder. And this map navigation is terrible. Um, it's not like it's not bad. It's just you have to play all the puzzles on hard this time. Yeah, the map screen navigation is just not smooth. But yeah, so you have to play it on hard this time, and hard mode means rotating pieces to be in their proper positions. It's a good game. It's not a bad game at all. Like, don't don't misconstrue my complaints as saying the game is not worthwhile or any of that kind of stuff. It's just a lot harder. So like the first 8 pieces like last time like number 1 are still the same. Like you can see the rough like outline of what it's supposed to, or like you get to place those pretty much the same way as we did in the first one. The ringlet pieces, which is great. Like good thing that they didn't get rid of that. But then after you get the ringlet pieces, you see a piece and you're like, okay, well, I can rotate it. And it's like, okay, well. So 12, 12 different rotational positions. Luckily, it's not even more free. um, but it's a lot harder as a result. So it's been a slower go. I am aware that some people, I forget who one of them is, but I know one person did a video guide, and then Sangris did a video guide as well. So, if you want to do that, I mean, it's an option. I don't recommend it. Like, part of the reason you get these. I am taking a screenshot each time because one of my thoughts is I could make a guide out of it eventually with the screenshots, because I think all you really need for this game is the ability to see the picture. Like, I think sometimes just knowing what the picture is going to look like is enough to at least get you on the right track. But I don't see the point in giving you like a piece-by-piece instructional guide of how to beat these games. So if anything, I'll take those screenshots, throw them into a full like written up guide and be like, yeah, use these pictures. There'll be high definition shots of every puzzle so you can kind of see what the colors should look like. But I think that's more than enough for most people at that point. Yeah. Well, if you did it for the last game, then the person who probably wrote that walkthrough was this guy. So it's kind of why I'm thinking about doing it again. Is I wrote the first one, and why not do it for the second one? It's just this second one's taking a lot longer. So, okay. We're going to end this part of the broadcast, though, or this recording at least.